Hey guys, spiritual whistleblower here with another video on narcissistic abuse. Before I jump into the topic, I am kicking off my national tour next week. June 3rd, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. June 5th, Greenville, South Carolina. June 6th, Charleston, South Carolina. June 11th, Atlanta, Georgia. That's my big party. June 13th, Memphis, Tennessee. June 18th, Orlando, Florida. And June 19th, Miami, Florida. If you don't have your ticket, you better email me and get it now. Lock your seat in while seats, there's a few left, y'all. I love y'all and I want to see y'all. I can't wait to greet you, sign your, autograph your books. We're going to play the card game. I'm going to do my podcast taping. I can't wait. I've been packing my bags, even though I don't leave till next week, but I've already started packing my bags. I got all my equipment, everything. I'm just super fucking excited, man. This is what I live for. It's going to be a busy summer. There's things I got lined up. I haven't even, God is working, man. He's blessing me. I haven't even announced half the stuff I got planned. It's going to be a busy year all the way up until December for me. Okay? Again, my Patreon is $1. Click the link down below to join my Patreon and have all unlimited access to all my old school videos, over 500 videos going back to 2018, $1 a month. A month. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about the term. We're going to start educating. Let's get into it. I'm that life coach. I talk about the uncomfortable shit. Okay. And lately I've been going in on toxic family members. And this video is about toxic motherfucking family members. The narcissists in your family that are fucking delusional. And they think they see nothing wrong because they're so comfortable in their dysfunction. Okay. The term is PseudoMutuality. I will spell it. PseudoMutuality. PseudoMutual. Hold on, mutuality. I'm sorry, y'all. I done fucked up the word. Mutuality. Pseudo. Split up. Let's split it up. Pseudo is Pseudo, and then mutuality. Mutuality. There you go. I almost fucked up, man. Pseudo-mutuality. Can we talk about it? Why your fucking family so fucked up and they stick together and they sitting in pig shit. They love that pig shit. They love the smell. As long as they're stuck together and they're endorsing each other's bullshit, they co-signing each other's fuck shit. Woo, this is a good topic, y'all. Sit down. This is a good topic. I'm about to tell you why your grandmammy's fucking toxic. Your great-grandfather's toxic. It's in your bloodline. The reason why they're so toxic and they continue to pass this shit down generation to generation, the term is called pseudo-mutuality. What is pseudo-mutuality? It's when a fucking family full of narcissists, and you can include yourself in it because this is a time where you didn't know what the word narcissist was. You were just, you were enmeshed with your family. You had no fucking choice. It's like they bullied you into this system. You know your family's fucked up, but you feel like you can't escape. So this is before you learned about narcissistic abuse. You're caught up with your toxic family. Pseudo-mutuality is when a very toxic family, in the public eye, they are tight-knit. They look like the perfect fucking family. They appear to be happy, loving, and supportive of each other. When they go to church, they're all well-dressed and sitting together. Everybody's well-mannered. It's all about the facade. However, behind closed doors, when I say drama, chaos, jealousy, envy, hatred, the family is it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They are perfect and together in the public eye, but behind closed doors, it's a whole nother bloody crime scene. The siblings are jealous of each other and fighting. The parents and grandparents cuss each other out. There's always, they can't. I come from a family. Let me tell you something. My last name is Clark. And I don't give a fuck who get mad. I don't give a good goddamn if my grandmother see this. Sidebar, y'all. Last week when my mother took me to court, well, yeah, on Tuesday, she was throwing subliminals, at me like I give a fuck, talking about my grandmother sees my videos. My cousin showed my grandmother, my nana, my videos. And I'm sitting there in my head like, I do not give a flying fuck. She need to see these fucking videos because she done fucked her whole family up. My nana fucked her family up. She fucked her sons up, psychologically emasculated all three of them. She ruined their marriages because she's so goddamn controlling, and she treat her sons like she fucking them. She didn't ran. My uncle had kidney problems. My father don't even want to touch a fucking woman, and my other uncle on drugs. She fucked all them up. But she will not take no accountability. And that's why she's being punished now. I hope she see these fucking videos. She is a malignant narcissist and she is being punished. God took her baby boy and God took her husband. And she got to sit there and eat it. She's being humbled. So I don't give a fuck. She's watching these videos. We got to teach this shit to our families, whether they like it or fucking not. You don't sit up and destroy your family piece by piece, and then when your ass get old and raggedy and you want to start looking pathetic and calling on people for help, no, you reap what you sow. Our grandparents, great-grandparents, they fucked their families up, y'all. PseudoMutuality in my family, the Clarks, the Clarks had a very spotless, clean house. My nana, and then that's one thing, they probably had the cleanest house on the block. They went to church. Everybody was well dressed, well groomed. My nana always had her sons well groomed, handsome, looking, house spotless, always drove a nice Cadillac. That, they had that appearance, out in the streets, they was looking good. And they, all my uncles was fine and handsome and well dressed. My father was handsome. It was all about the appearance. My granddaddy was a handsome man. May he rest in peace. So my nana, she cared about, the presentation, the facade. But behind closed doors, it was another ball game. It was toxicity. It was dysfunction. It was trauma. It was generational curses. It was bloody fistfights, stabbings, crime. She went to prison. Traumatizing her sons, beating the bloody piss out of them. My father told me when he was a little boy, my nana called him a sissy and she put a diaper on him and lipstick. Why would you do that to a little boy? And then when he grows up fucked up in the head because his mammy done fucked him up psychologically, now he's going to take that anger out on every fucking woman. My father turned around and married a woman just like my nana. And I don't blame him. If he don't want to lay a finger on another woman, he done went from one frying pan and jumped to another. I don't blame him if he don't want to touch another woman. He dealt with two horrible women. I don't care. I love my nana, but she fucked her family up. She fucking destroyed all three of her boys. Psychologically fucked up their, you treat a little boy, wet in the bed, all the fist fights, they all, they witnessed my grandparents fighting all the time. And, they had anxiety issues, peeing in the bed because they scared every time they heard their parents fighting. My father and his brothers grew up in severe dysfunction. No matter what, but my nana made sure they were well dressed and clean and looking pretty out in them streets. But behind closed doors, it was a fucking nightmare. All the bloody fights, the cussing, the carrying on, the feds raiding their house because my grandmother was running numbers out the house and selling alcohol, all types of criminal shit. My father makes me mad, but I also feel sorry for my father because he grew up, my nana programmed him to be her personal slave. My nana programmed my Uncle Dion, may he rest in peace. I know she had plans for him. She didn't think he was going to die at 49 years old. She had things set up where she was going to be old and gray and he was going to take care of her and she was going to leave him the house and the car and the money. See, my nana's messy. She bought my uncle more gifts. She spoiled him because she controlled, she broke up 2 of his marriages. He was married twice. She fucked up both marriages because she wanted to control him. She treated him more like a husband instead of a fucking son. Y'all know I can't stand that shit. I wrote a whole book on how these women fuck their sons up. My Nana destroyed all 3 of her sons' marriages. She was very controlling. And she just had my uncle being the baby, 49 years old. Nobody thought he would die. Nobody saw that coming. But see, she's controlling, but she was humble because at the end of the day, God is running this motherfucking show. God is running shit. Not you, Nana. Not you. You got humbled. You got, oh, God will spank your ass. And that's what he did. He took your baby boy because you fucked. Listen, you've been doing a lot of dirty shit. Your whole legacy is fucked up. You can't even die with all your grandchildren and children around you because your family's all broken up and fucked up. And you've had no accountability for the fucking fuck shit that you did to your sons, your grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. So there is a hefty price to pay. You're not getting off scot-free. You're going to sit there and take this ass whooping from God. Oh, she took my Uncle Dion, the baby, 49 years old. I'm sure she had all these plans. She was going to be old and gray, leave the house to him. She always treated him better than my father and his brother, my other uncle. She would spoil him more, bought him a sports car, give him more money. That's how she controls him. In my family, my mother spoils my sister, the golden child, by my mother then pushed her other 2 children away. So all she got is my sister left. And in order to keep my sister around and controlling my sister, my mother has to buy her gifts and spoil her. That's what my Nana did. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this shit just transfers over. It's disgusting. This behavior will keep transferring over and over until somebody steps out of the family and say, I've had enough. There go the sirens. See, spirit is here in this video. That's my confirmation when y'all hear the sirens going off in the background. My grandmother passed that fucking trauma down. My father married a trifling mother just like his mother. And now my mother is repeating the same behavior. She ain't got 2 kids. Her 2 kids don't fuck with her. So to cling on to her 3rd child, my sister, the baby, she's got to spoil her to keep my sister coming back. My Nana did the same thing with my uncle. But God said, Virginia Clark, you're going to cut this shit out. I'm going to show you who's running things. And he took her son. He died in his sleep. I don't give a fuck who get mad. I don't give a fuck if my grandmother watching this. She's a malignant narcissist. Everybody acts so scared of her. No, I'm not scared of her. I'm not scared of nobody in my family. I'm tired of the dysfunction. Nobody will check her. My father then wrote her fucking letters. She don't give a fuck about them letters. Somebody needs to check my Nana for destroying her motherfucking family. And no, I'm not going to her funeral. Hell no, I don't want a piece of jewelry. I don't want a baby picture. I hope that house burns the fuck down because it's cursed and demonic. I don't want shit for her. She always trying to give this one more gifts and that one more gifts. Try to make this one jealous of that one. She did it with her sons and she does it with her grandchildren. I cannot be bought. Give your jewelry, whatever the fuck is in that house, give it away because I don't want shit. Why would I would take something out of her house, bring it into my house. That's transferring demonic energy into my home. I don't want it. PseudoMutuality is when a toxic family sticks together. They mistreat each other. They dog each other out, but they never address it. They fall out with each other. No one apologizes. They just fall out and then a couple months will go by and they go, everybody's back together again. Like it never happened. That shit is toxic and dysfunctional. My grandmother and grandfather, they trained the grandchildren. I have fallen out with my cousins and my sisters. And this is how family does. This is how my family do. They'll fall out with each other. Couple months go by or even a year. Then we get back together. We don't even bring up the fight or argument. It's like it never happened. And I said, that shit is toxic because I see my father doing it. I see my uncle doing it. My grandmothers do it. Everybody does this pattern, this really toxic, dysfunctional pattern where they'll cuss each other out, disrespect each other, and fall out, and then come back together again without addressing the dysfunction and arguments. And they just turn around and repeat the cycle. This shit is fucking crazy. My whole family has been doing this shit for decades. Address the fucking toxicity and stop repeating it. But everybody's so scared of my Nana. No, my Nana is a malignant narcissist. My granddaddy, may he rest in peace, my toots, I believe he was definitely a narcissist too. They would not separate. They'd rather have bloody fist fights, sleep in separate bedrooms, stay in this toxic ass marriage. My granddaddy had a baby outside his marriage. My grandmother cheated on him. Just, I don't think they understand the extent of damage and trauma they've caused their sons and how it trickled down onto their grandchildren and great grandchildren. This shit is fucking disgusting. I'm very disappointed in my grandmother, and I refuse to pass this shit down to my child. We will not live like that. I don't care how pretty, how clean your house is. And that's another thing. They thought I was going to get COVID because I live here in New York City. When COVID first started last year, New York was the hot spot in the entire world. We had the highest death rate, and I live here in the heart of Manhattan. My mother made a fake fucking page to contact me on Instagram. She didn't say I love you. She didn't say kiss my grandbaby. She was being nosy to see if I caught COVID because that bitch wants me dead. That bitch don't like me. She want me to suffer. She was stalking me to see if I caught COVID. And I didn't respond. I blocked the bitch. But you know what's funny? Within that same year, both my grandparents caught COVID. Or that's what was told to me. That was the message that was relayed to me. Because I don't stay in touch with family. Somebody from family sent me an email, said both your grandparents have COVID and your grandfather passed away. And I said, look at God. They got the cleanest motherfucking house on the block in Trenton, New Jersey. You can eat food. You can lick their kitchen floor. That's how fucking clean it is. How the fuck did they get COVID? How the fuck did two very clean people, houses sanitized, you name it? See, you can't play with God. That's why I keep my distance and I sip my wine and I mind my business. You can't do your dirt and think you're going to escape God's wrath. God is punishing my grandmother for that PseudoMutuality shit. Inconsistent behavior. You can't be goody two-shoes to the outside world and your community. But you're inconsistent in your behavior and character behind closed doors. I'm practicing that right now. Whatever y'all see in public, this is how it is behind closed doors. I'll put my daughter on here right now. We don't have no toxic relationship. We've had our little hard times and stuff. My daughter battles with a disability, and that's been our challenge as mother and daughter. But 9 times out of 10, we like this. My house is peaceful. You can't hear a pin drop. Ain't no arguments. Ain't no fighting. Ain't no nigga up in here, mistreating me or my daughter. No, we live in peace. Something that I wasn't taught. I had to learn how to, get to the peace. And that required me cutting my toxic family off. Sure, they're calling me crazy. Sure, I'm blacklisted. Whatever. I don't give a fuck because they could not pay me $1 million to come to any family function or be around. I don't want to be around them. And it's sad for me to say this. I'm looking forward to when my Nana dies. She needs to pass away so that this fucking dysfunction in the family goes away. It sounds cruel, but how else is this shit gonna stop, y'all? Narcissists, they don't love their children. And I'm convinced my grandmother does not love anyone. She is severely broken and she brought her trauma and pass it on to her boys, and her boys pass it on to their children and grandchildren. That shit is fucked up and it's unfair. So I have become my family's karma. Your family, you grew up in a very toxic family that they enjoyed their dysfunction. And they told you, they pull you to the side. You better not tell nobody what's going on behind closed doors. You better not discuss family. My mother did that all the time. Don't you say nothing. Don't you tell nobody we ain't feeding you. Don't you tell nobody. They keep all the dirt behind closed doors, and they'll punish you if you say one word. Why dare them to fucking punish me now? Come for me. I wish a bitch would come. Don't call me. Don't email me. You can't. This is my First Amendment right, freedom of speech. Just close your motherfucking ears, block me, and move on, because I'm going to tell all the family secrets. I do not want to live in this dysfunction, and I'm going to make sure my child doesn't live in it either. That's why I kept her away from it. Learn what pseudo-mutuality is and how it is destroyed. I don't care what race it is, guys. This is in every race, every family. And just analyze your grandparents' behavior and their personality, your great-grandparents. And, you know, you can see what family members have these narcissistic traits and how they keep passing it down and how they're delusional. They don't even see it. They don't even fucking see it. And they get mad when you don't want to interact with them because you're choosing to live a different life and choose a different path. It's not going to stop till your grandparents, great-grandparents, till they die. This shit's got to bleed out of your family. And you got to be responsible for not passing it on to your children. Pseudo-mutuality. Google it, look it up, do some research. It's deep, y'all. This is what's wrong. This is why our parents and grandparents, they didn't set a good example. They didn't train us and teach us how to get in a healthy marriage. They taught us to get into a toxic marriage. You can't keep a man. No, I don't want to keep a toxic man. Your marriage is toxic. You got a woman beater, a cheater, a liar. Does that make you better than me because you got a fucking man, a husband, and your marriage is fucking full of drama and chaos? You're not better than me. I'm actually the smart one because I'm healthy and happy and ain't nobody stressing me out. Ain't no nigga stealing my money. Ain't no nigga having a baby on me. Yeah, our grandparents got it fucked up. And that's why our parents is fucked up in the goddamn head. You are the karma to your family because you're going to be the game changer. You are the one God appointed to break free and change your family's dysfunction. Do not ever participate or be a product of pseudo-mutuality. Train your children differently. Train your children up in love. And whatever you present to the public, make sure you're being consistent with your character and behavior behind closed doors. On that note, I love you guys. I'll see you next week on my tour. It kicks off June 3rd in Charlotte, North Carolina. Email me if you want some coaching or if you want to attend any of my events. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.